Assalamu alaikum dear students, this is your physics class in which we will discuss about the unit 13 electrostatics. In this class we will discuss about the conceptual questions. First conceptual question is, normally objects with large number of electrons are electrically neutral. Why? So all of you are aware about the concept that an electrically neutral object contains the same amount of the positive charge as well as the negative charge, so it is called as the neutral object. The equal number of charges results in no net charge. So this means that the number of electrons is equal to the number of protons in that body. Under such condition, the potential difference will be zero and the electric field intensity will also be zero. So the object will remain neutral. So very much clear and easy concept behind this question. You should draw any concerned figure and must give the conclusion to the concerned question. The next question is same to the electrostatic, that how does shuffling feet across a carpet cause hair to stand on our body? As in these days the air is so much drier, so you can feel these things in these days very much clearly. So the concept behind is the rubbing of certain materials against one another can transfer negative charges or electrons, that is, one loses electron and the other body gains the electron. So, for example, if we rub a glass rod against a silk cloth, the glass rod loses electrons and becomes positively charged. These electrons are picked up by the silk cloth. On the other hand, when we rub or shuffle our feet on a carpet, we are picking electrons of the carpet and transferring these electrons to our hair. These negatively charged particles, that is electrons, are accumulated on our body's hair. As we know that the similar charges repel each other, so these hairs, all of these hairs will have the same charge. So that's why they try to repel each other. In this way, the hairs stand on our body. So conclusion should be written as that the hair actually stand up on our body when we rub carpet with our feet due to the same charges on these hairs. The next question is, why neutral objects are always attracted by charged objects and not repelled? As we know that the neutral objects are composed of atoms which are negatively charged electrons and positively charged protons or nuclei. Means electrons and protons are balanced in the neutral bodies. When a charged body is brought near a neutral body, then due to the electrostatic induction, opposite charge in the neutral body is brought towards the charged body. For example, if a positively charged rod is brought near a neutral body, it attracts the negative charge in the neutral body towards itself. As we know that the opposite charges attract each other, therefore the positively charged rod attracts the formerly neutral body towards itself. The so much concerned figures are given in your book. You should draw a neutral body and a charged body to clear the concept. So we conclude that always the neutral bodies are attracted by the charged bodies. The next question is, Why the pieces of paper initially attracted by charged comb fly away when they touch it? As we know that initially the comb is electrically neutral and has no effect on the tiny pieces of paper. However, when it is rubbed on a dry cloth or hair, it gets electrically charged, means that we are making the comb as a charged body by the phenomena of rubbing. This charged comb, when gets closer to some pieces of paper, then they are attracted by that comb. It is due to the electrostatic induction and Coulomb's force. The charged comb attracts the pieces of paper. However, these pieces touch the charged comb, then they got the same charge. As similar charges repel each other, so these pieces will now be repelled by charged comb. The concerned figure is shown over here, in which the comb initially attract the pieces of paper and then repel it due to the electrostatic induction. So the conclusion can be written as the pieces of paper first attracted by the charged comb due to the electrostatic induction and then repelled on touching it. Okay, the next question. Number 5 is it necessary for a charged body actually to touch the ball of electroscope for the leaves to diverge? No. The answer is no. It is not necessary for charged body to touch the ball of electroscope. When a charged body, say positively charged body, touches the ball of the electroscope, it attracts the electrons from the electroscope, leaving a net charge on it. The leaf being positively charged repel each other. Conversely, if we touch it with a negatively charged body, some of its excess electrons are transferred to the electroscope, making it negatively charged. The leaves once again repel each other as both carry the same negative charge, and the concerned figure of the electroscope is given in the notes as well as it is given in your book. So in each case the leaves repel each other when a charged body either type touches the ball of the electroscope. The next question is how electrostatic painting is better than conventional spray painting. As we know that in electrostatic painting, when paint leaves the nozzle of the spray gun, it is given a positive charge. The negatively charged grounded metal vehicles, means the gate or the grill which we are going to spray, is negatively charged by the contact to the ground, attracts the positive charge droplets of the paint spray to its surface just like a magnet. There are many benefits of using the electrostatic coating, some of which are given below. It makes a stronger bond to cover an object more evenly if the vehicle has many angles. This method saves the paint by ensuring more paint lands to change the vehicle surface. It creates a better looking finish because the paint is distributed more evenly and uniformly. So the conclusion is that's why electrostatic painting is better than the conventional spray painting. So the discussion of some of the conceptual question is done. The rest of the conceptual question will be explained in the new video, inshallah.